difficult to summate or summarize the exact profile of an abuser because they can come in different shapes or forms. But one thing that we know for sure, which is consistent amongst abusers, is that they themselves usually have a history of abuse in their own lives, whether in childhood or whether in other sort of significant relationships. They usually also have a history of abuse. So, for example, it's in a very similar way when we talk about bullying in schools or bullying in the workplace. We often say that the bully usually has a history of being bullied themselves at some stage. So there's an interesting concept where we talk about the abuser or the abused becoming the abuser. So that's the way to look at it. So the abused becomes the abuser. But in general, usually people that tend to be abusive would normally have some sort of dysfunctional personality trait of some sort. So very often what we see quite predominantly is, the abusers may often be quite narcissistic in terms of how they are structured psychologically. And so they will have all the traits of a narcissistic person. And one of the things that we particularly may see in that particular profile is the narcissistic rage. So in other words, when the narcissist is showed up for who they are, the response is usually narcissistic rage. And that rage can normally show up in abusive ways, whether it's physical or emotional or psychological. That's usually how it will show up.
Globally, the victims of domestic violence are overwhelmingly women, and women tend to experience more severe forms of violence. Domestic violence is also amongst the most underreported crimes worldwide for both men and women. This is largely due to social stigmas regarding male victimization. Men face an increased likelihood of being overlooked by healthcare providers.